vice president or secretary. A little background is I'm a dedicated SPESB member. Ever since I started as a board member, I've told myself that this is an opportunity of a lifetime. By being heavily involved in SB, I was elected telecommunications chair. I used to be extremely shy, but SPESB changed me, and I'm thankful for that. So my next step is to aim for a higher position on the board. What qualifies me? When I was just a general body member, I decided to attend events and support other committees when I can. I even attended CEB meetings so that the board members can get feedback from a dedicated member. Once I was chosen to be on the exec board, I kept a mental note on how things are run by all positions on the board. Why should I be elected? I have previous experience, I'm flexible, and I work well with people. I find myself open to new concepts and ideas. Some people would believe I was shadowing the president or vice president. What are my goals? Finding efficient ways to communicate with general bodies so that we have events. There is a better chance for higher participation. Successfully keep everyone active in their roles for SPESB, and plan ahead for unexpected circumstances. How will I achieve my goals? Patience, good attitude, and determination. Nothing comes easy, but with those guidelines, I can achieve what I believe in. And that's it.
Oh, perfect.
Okay. Well, I have a question. So, shadowing the board, coming to the CB meetings and kind of being an active member in SB, what are some suggestions that you would make regarding that?
What do you mean?
As far as from what you've seen, what are some things that you would want to improve, I guess?
As of now, I would improve like the communication, mainly.
Even during the meetings, everything?
Okay, so based off of how the elections are going, and also your current knowledge of how the SB is right now, what do you think are the main issues right now for next year that needs to be fixed?
Main issues. Honestly, I have to think about that.
Okay,
So,
well, okay, since like.
give me an example of like
Okay.
an issue.
I got it. So whether you're vice president or secretary, you're still gonna have to deal with the issue that we basically don't have a communications zone. How do you plan on fixing that?
I would do my part and actually become that communications zone. So, that's my say on that.
Okay.
So as vice president, you and the president would need to have like seemingly an unbreakable bond, like you did, like, because other board members are coming, they're trying they're trying to see if there's like some separation, they can get a split side between. Okay, is there how well is your bond, or how well do you plan to make your bond with the president?
I think my bond with pretty much the whole of the board member is pretty good, so I don't think I'll have any issues with that.
I move to extend time for 5 minutes.
All right, who was the last two secretaries?
Brittany Williams and I think it was Chelsea.
Yeah.
Who was the best secretary?
run the meeting. So between the way Jeff is thinking of running the meeting and BK of the strict guidelines, how do you feel?
What's the question?
How do you fit in between the two different sides of the spectrum? Like, cause you're the one running the meeting.
Yeah, make sure everything's balanced and not another person's overtaking the other side and, being too strict or too calm, so just keep it balanced.
Sorry. If you have to choose between vice president, secretary, which one would you pick?
Vice President.
Why?
I just feel that I do a lot for this organization, so I just kind of feel that I want to be more involved, and Vice President is like in there.
So you run for secretary.
Secretary was a backup.
Any more questions?
We can keep going. Okay. So, as vice president, basically you're the mom of this society. That's pretty much how they teach us at regional, like the president's the dad that goes away and takes care of business while the mom stays at home and keeps everything in order. Pretty much, that's how they teach us at RAD. You wasn't at me. So, basically, how are you gonna make sure that you keep that balance and that you don't rely too heavily on any other board member? But how basically are you gonna be able to micromanage the board without basically running the whole organization yourself?
Make sure things are done at a certain time.
Like, so you're gonna delegate those tasks, or are you gonna just,
Like, I would give you a good amount of time to, complete a task, so.
I think, we will, let's say if we do delegate tasks to people, and I know people, there's obstacles that come. How are you willing to deal with those, knowing that we have deadlines and things need to be done, but that we have that one person that's not getting it done? And it's kind of like one of those things you have to deal with.
I personally contact them and figure out what's going on, and since we have the internet, there shouldn't be really any excuse. If we have to do a PowerPoint, they can do it online, and if they need help, I can help them.
So you and Jeffrey don't play, how do you feel about impeachment? How do you feel about the whole impeaching somebody off the board after 3 times?
Impeaching,
Yes. If you don't show up 3 times, Jeffrey said you out the board.
well, just give like a warning first, and then like if you feel that this person's just not cut out for this, then we'll go ahead with the impeachment. But most people should, deserve like a second chance.
okay, so you do realize that for this summer in particular, your importance as either as vice president would be, correct? As, basically you're going to be running everything because the president will not be here. How are you going to be able to handle all of that with all the planning and everything? How are you going to be able to handle all that?
Take a deep breath and take it step by step.
Anybody need to extend
I
time?
have a question for Jeffrey.
Oh, you got, I do it too.
We gotta extend time.
Extend time for real.
I have a, yeah, go ahead. I bet you the president.
I do have a question for you.
Okay.
Did somebody
Not
second
gonna
that?
be in the fall semester, and you guys have to be board.
No, okay, I'll be here in the fall, I'll be here in the summer. When we're planning, because of the intern.
Oh, I thought you guys said you guys would be here in the fall.
Oh, no.
Go sit down, Ed.
I got-
Go sit down, Ed.
Anybody else got questions?
questions.
We can solve both of these.
Alright, so since he's not gonna be here during the summer, and most of our planning is done, like, during the summer, how are you gonna get everyone together to plan for that? What's your process?
Well, I figure out like what's everybody's scheduling and, you know, have a meeting time. We might have to do a lot of Skyping, but then have to use group meet a lot, so. yeah.
As VP, normally, let's say, normally the board starts off with holes that need to be filled. And before those holes get filled, it's usually the VP or the president that comes in and fills those roles until somebody occupies them. So, how do you plan on working with that and while managing it all? Like I said, it can all get, heavy. So how do you plan on managing that?
Like, I can't understand your question.
So there are holes that need to be filled.
Yeah.
The president, the
Holes
VP does.
Holes in like positions?
Yes,
or-
positions like say secretary is not filled, treasurer is not filled.
Okay.
Those are positions that typically the president and the VP handle. The president's not gonna be there during the fall. So,
Well,
I mean during the summer, I'm sorry.
At the moment, I'm just a telecommunications chair, but I kind of act as a secretary since our secretary is away. So I tend to, you know, fill in when I feel is necessary. And for any other positions, if I feel that I can do it, or if I feel someone else is